Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. It's your host, Street Urchin. Hey, how's it going? I know it doesn't mean much, but we're damn close to 50 whole subscribers, which it's a big win for me. And I want to thank everyone that has stuck around through the 4-year hiatus. But I'm back on track and determined to make this channel a dream come true. Or die trying, we'll see what happens. Today we will be branching off of the ENTP relations video. For some reason that's gotten a strange number of views. And never let it be said that I didn't give my fans what they wanted. So today we'll be talking about a pairing that actually tickles my funny bone just a little bit. But before we get into that meme factory, I'd like to first make a very important declaration as to MBTI relationships. It's horseshit. Compatible matches between personalities is situational at best. An example I'd like to bring up is ESTP and ISFJ. Either personality is only going to enjoy the relationship so long as the interests align. If the ESTP enjoys playing Call of Duty, while the ISFJ has never even picked up a controller, you might run into some problems down the line. Conversely, if the ISFJ is comparing the ESTP to their personal tradition, that will definitely drive them away. Point being that when you're searching for compatibility, look for common interests, not common cognitive functions. This comes from many years of experience as an ENTP with a predilection for you humans and your psychology. So take that for what you will. Anyways, we move on to a relationship that could be described as forbidden fruit. Hopefully that's sexy enough sounding to keep your interest. To most of the MBTI community, it's the seemingly impossible ENTP INFP relationship.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension.
So you are an INFP who's about to make the crippling mistake of getting into a relationship with a debate monster. My sympathies. Or you're already in a relationship with an ENTP and by some miracle you haven't stabbed them yet. Hopefully I can give you some insight on the pairing before I hear about you on the 10 o'clock news. The great part about this pairing, they're both more interested in concept rather than pragmatism, which can alleviate issues regarding topics. Both personalities can talk about anything with mild interest, so long as it's conceptual. Meaning that you're more likely to see both of these personalities cross paths, which of course is absolutely true if you're in any of the MBTI Facebook groups. Boy, I love being there. INFP magnets for sure. Their love of concepts comes from their preference for extroverted intuition, which allows them to much more easily consider different points of view. So they really shouldn't have a problem getting to know each other in a very short amount of time. However, realistically, that's just both sides setting up the battlefield for what you might consider to be a relationship later on, and not just some demented game of cat and also cat. As you can see, they both share a preference for the same perceiving functions, extroverted intuition and introverted sensing. However, due to the difference in position of the latter, one uses it to their advantage while the other has a disdain for it. This can be a problem if the INFP enjoys bringing up the past a little too frequently. If you're aiming to drive your ENTP crazy, make sure they're doing the same thing as everyone else. Guaranteed trip to the loony bin. Extra padded, please. But now we'll move on to the big guns. The INFP leads their life through introverted feeling. Morals, principles, code of ethics, personal feelings. I've said that phrase way too often in my show. While the ENTP has a focus on introverted thinking, personal logic, congruity of thought, accuracy. Not a great stretch of the imagination to believe that these functions don't always play well together. When they collide, it's not often that there isn't collateral damage. Many conversations can be led with, "That makes me sad," followed by the phrase, "Well, that's dumb." Not always the best way to respond, in case you're wondering. However, I would say that due to the opposite nature of the functions, there is a great potential for intrigue. The ENTP can appreciate getting the opportunity to push the INFP's buttons, in positive and negative ways. Remember, it's experimental. Whereas the INFP will enjoy teasing out whatever emotions the ENTP has spent decades trying to suppress, which can make for a very sick, but long-lasting attraction. It's a never-ending struggle of one side trying to subdue the other. And although all this sounds, awful and terrible, there is an obvious benefit. Clear divisions of labor. When a logical decision needs to be made, the ENTP can deliver a solution with little to no objection from the INFP. When it's a situation that calls for patience and caring, the ENTP will happily pass it along to their INFP counterpart, which allows for each one to have their, own wheelhouse to manage. And I would think that both parties can find a great amount of relief in having someone to rely on when it comes to matters they don't enjoy dealing with. I'll fix the car, you deal with the grieving widow. Fair? Another thing to consider function-wise, where the INFP uses introverted sensing to their advantage, the ENTP uses extroverted feeling. What that means in practice is that they tend to get more attention from people. So the ENTP might end up getting more attention than the INFP is comfortable with. If you're the ENTP, try not to get stabbed over it. The INFP just needs to remember that that's how they operate. It's nothing personal. You just attract more flies with honey than you do vinegar. Hopefully the INFP sitting next to you actually bought that. Personally, I think the INFP-ENTP combination can actually be fun, so long as both don't mind playful poking at the weaknesses of the other. If the INFP is able to pull out the ENTP's vulnerable side, then I think you've succeeded in keeping them attached to you. If the ENTP convinces the INFP of their logic, then they'll have gained a companion that will support them through their decisions, which is good for at least one of you. So the relationship is probably alright, in theory, but it's something I'd need to do more research on. If you've got stories about a relationship with either of the personalities, I'd love to read them down in the comments. But those are some surface thoughts that I've got about the ENTP-INFP relationship. If you want me to do more MBTI relationship videos, be sure to hit that like button. It helps let me know what you guys want to see. As always, I've got more content on the way, and I'll see you next time. Bye!